Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and this is a pre-match live England versus Australia international friendly tonight. Wondering if we'll see Kieran Trippier playing in this game. But let's get through. Before we get into the show, if you do like what you see, please do smash the like. It does help the channel to search, so do smash the like. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come and be part of this great community we have. Yeah. And also hitting that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. If you want to become a member, it's 99p a month. Just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the dollar sign. So I see apologies for putting this show at such short notice. I've had trouble getting home tonight. The rain is absolutely horrendous here. So by the time I got home, it's been a little bit later. I'm putting this show out. So I do apologise if people haven't been notified, because of the show, because it's such a. Because I only just put it out there. Evening, Tony, enjoying Benidorm. I'm not there yet, mate. I don't go till Sunday, so I don't leave until Sunday morning. So looking forward to Sunday. I can't wait. Glad you're back, Tony. The world's gone pot since you've been away, hasn't it? It's been it has. It's been absolutely mental beer, hasn't it? Holly says, good evening, Tony. Good luck to England tonight. Yeah, good evening to you, Holly, as well. Hope you're very well indeed. Look, England playing a friendly tonight against Australia, and some people might say it's a meaningless game. Sometimes friendlies are, but when it's England Australia, doesn't matter what form of sport it's in, whether it's rugby, cricket, or whatever, it always has needle to it, and this is no exception. The team news is actually out for the game tonight as well. So I can tell you the team is Sam Johnson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Levi Colville, Conor Gallagher, Lewis Dunk and Tomori, with Jack Grealish, Jordan Henderson the captain, Ollie Watkins, James Maddison and Jared Bowen. So a much changed lineup to that. On the bench is Kieran Trippier, Jordan Pickford, Harry Maguire, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Mark Way, Declan Rice, Marcus Rashford, Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Aaron Ramsdale, Calvin Phillips, Jude Bellingham, and Eddie Nketiah. So, to be honest with you, that is not a bad lineup. That is not a bad starting lineup. Obviously, we know how much Southgate's loving Trippier at the minute, and I think the reason Trippier is probably not playing is because he's probably keeping him for Tuesday against Italy. So, and to be fair, it would make more sense to play Trippier on Tuesday in a game that means something, rather than a friendly that doesn't really mean a lot. So, although, like I say, it does mean a lot at the friendly, because still, at the end of the day, it's England Australia. So anything against Australia, it would be absolutely is always a great occasion in it. There's always that bit of tension needle, whether you're playing cricket, rugby, whatever. Any game England Australia always has something added, always has a little bit of space added to it as well. So I will bring that team lineup on the screen for you as well. But as I say, Trippier is on the bench, but then I think that's probably because Southgate's keeping him probably for Tuesday, which you'll need Trippier's experience against Italy as well on Tuesday, when I will be in Benidorm, so I'll be watching that match in Benidorm. But there is the England side there. I'm not sure what the Australian side is, but I will find out for you as soon as I can possibly find their team lineup. Bear with me while I find their lineup. Australia football. Or soccer as they call it over there. Their team's not actually out at the moment, but I will have a check, because the team should be out. If England's put their team news out, Australia should have put theirs out as well. Let's have a look. We've got no Australian team at the minute. Not even Sky's got the Australian team, so we don't know what the Australian team is. So hopefully we can bring that news to you as soon as we can. BS says, was hoping to see Garang Kual, but don't think he's in the squad. I'm not sure. Henderson again, can't believe it. Do you know what it is? Out of, at the end of the day, I think Henderson's playing tonight because obviously he's probably not going to play on Tuesday. But to me, one player who should be in that team ahead of Henderson is that guy there, Sean Longstaff. I mean, look, he's been terrific this season. Great last season, and he's hit the ground running again this season. How he's not in the England squad is beyond me. Same with Dan Burn. He's another one. Talking to Dan Burn, he's just signed a new deal today, so well done to Dan Burn, signing that new contract, and well-deserved as well, and rightly so, well-deserved. But again, Dan Burn's been absolutely terrific, hasn't he, really? And, the French newspaper, L'Equipe, or L'Equipe, as you want to call it, they've been very complimentary about Dan Burn. They said he's got to be one of the best left-backs in England, if not the best. Said that he helped, he shackled Dembele and didn't hardly get a sniff. And, they don't understand why he's not even playing in the England squad. So, for L'Equipe to put out there, the French paper, that he's one of the better, if not the best left-back in England, surely Southgate should be reading that now and thinking, wow, hang on, I should be picking this guy, shouldn't I? And yes, he should be. He should have been in there tonight. Even if he played tonight, it would have given him a chance to have a game, So I don't get it. Southgate needs to really start looking at players who are on form. And Dan Burn is certainly on form at the minute, as is Sean Longstaff. Sean Longstaff, to me, should be in there ahead of Jordan Henderson. Why Saudi Arabia to come play over here when you've got a perfect player there who's a lot younger than Henderson and is playing absolutely out of his skin this season? So again, we don't know what goes through his mind. Even this guy's not even in the England squad. When Saka pulled out, he could have had the opportunity to call up Gordon as a replacement. He hasn't bothered calling a replacement up. Again, Gordon should be in that England team. He's been absolutely superb this season. And considering he was player of the tournament in the Euros for the under-21s, that should have made Southgate stand up and think, well, hang on a minute, let's see how he gets on the Premier League. And now that he's hit it running, he should have said, yes, I'll have you in there. He could have played tonight. So, but one lad we know is in the under-21s is Livramento, and great to see him back in the England fold as well. Comments come in. BS says, linked you on Twitter to the Australian team. Right, okay, mate, I'll have a look at that. Oh, it's out now, is it? Okay, let's have a look. Matty Ryan in goal, who's the captain as well. Ryan Strain, Harry Souttar, Cameron Burgess, Kai Rowles, Keanu Bacchus, Jackson Irvine, Connor Metcalf, Martin Boyle, Mitch Duke, Craig Goodwin. Not many players that we know on that starting 11, apart from Matt Ryan. Obviously, he played for Brighton. We know Harry Souttar as well. So there's a couple of players there we know. But other than that, we don't know anybody else. And on the bench, it is Milos Degenek, Jordan Boss, Sam Silvera, Brandon Barello, Arwan Mabil, Andrew Redmayne, Aidan O'Neill, Aziz Beshic, Lewis Miller, Tom Glover, Massimo Luongo, and Alessandro Sakati. So no Garang Kual in the Australian squad tonight. Yes, I know I did put him on the thumbnail. I just thought I'll put two Newcastle players on there, and we got one from Australia, so I thought I'd stick Kual on there. But that's the Australian team tonight, and again, that's as I say, I don't know a lot about the Australian team, so we saw them in the World Cup. They didn't do too bad in the World Cup, considering. But again, um, you know, we'll see how they are tonight. I think the last time we played Australia at Wembley, I think they beat us, didn't they? So um, it's time for England to get payback on them as well. Evening all, says Mighty Win. Good evening, mate. He drinks Moretti's like a Betty. He hates Laden Brooks. Yeah, absolutely. Lad Brooks, yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, look, yes, well, Ronald says, I do feel sorry for all players not getting called up by the donkey boy Southgate, but I have a selfish side that says, Frick Southgate as well, players don't get injured. Absolutely, that's another thing, mate. The players don't get injured. But it would be nice to see Dan Burn in there, I mean, like I say, the French papers have given, L'Equipe have said he had Dembele in his back pocket, basically, and he said, they said, Dan Burn's probably the best left back in England. Well, why can't he get in the England squad? Anthony Gordon's had a superb season. Why is he not in? Sean Longstaff, better than Jordan Henderson. He should be in there. So, hopefully their time will come, hopefully. But, look, but we will get on about a certain player, and yes, it is Sandro Tonali. Now, we heard last night that him, Zaniolo, and another Italian teammate were let go from the squad, following something coming from the Italian prosecutors. Now then, it's stemming down to betting. Now, it's saying that it was apparently an illegal betting site. Now, some people have said Tonali was doing casino on there, not football-related bets. So we don't know what's coming out of this. We don't know. One thing we have heard, though, is Zaniolo, who plays for Villa, who, ironically, we were looking at last season, if you remember. When he played for Roma, he was betting on a match in the game he was involved in. So now then, he could be in for the high jump. If that's proven with him doing that, then he will get a ban. Now, what they're saying is, if these players do get banned, in Italy, it's a minimum 3-year ban for this apparent behaviour, which isn't great, but they can expand it worldwide. So they go to FIFA, and FIFA will make sure this ban is upheld worldwide. I think if it's a 3-year ban, it's very, very harsh. But there again, we don't know the ins and outs, so we can't really speculate on it. All we can say is they're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Simple as that. So at the end of the day, they're still innocent as far as I'm concerned. The good thing is, at least we could say there's one positive out of it. Tonali comes back to Newcastle and doesn't have any involvement in Italy's games tonight and on Tuesday, and means he's fit for selection, when we play Crystal Palace. Depends how his mindset is. Sky have approached Newcastle and Villa for comment, and obviously I don't think we've commented so far. Probably, this happened when he was at Milan, so it's not like he's done something at Newcastle. This was beforehand. So again, we don't know. It's speculation, and we let the justice system decide what's happening, and where they go from there with their investigations. Is a concern, but let's hope it's not. Coffee says, hi, Tony Noel. Hi, Coffee. Hope you're well, mate. He says, Milanistas are worried about getting knocked out of the Champions League and have probably fabricated these stories. Could well have. Again, we don't know what the ins and outs are, so we'll see. Mighty Win says, been sticking up for Big Dan Burn for months. Sick of fellow Magpies saying, I love Burn, but they ain't no but. Absolutely. I mean, look, he's been outstanding this season for us. I think he's been brilliant. And yes, a couple of times last season when I thought he's not had the greatest game, I've always said, maybe give him a rest and bring Target in. But then he's played the following week. And you know what? He's had a blinder. And that's great because that's what we want to see. If he's had one bad game, we want to see the reaction the week after if he's picked. And when he is picked, we're seeing the reaction. It's absolutely fantastic. Evening all says, Mary, good evening, Mary. Hope you're well. It's absolutely throwing it down here, Mary. It's horrible, isn't it? And you've probably got the same where you are in Cambridge, and it's absolutely awful. Supposedly, it's clearing in within the next half an hour or so, but it doesn't sound like that. No trips, kicking Tonali and vice versa. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because that would have been, Trippier would have come up against him, wouldn't he? So, yeah. BS says 12 Italian players under investigation, hoping it all goes away. Yeah, again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Anthony Ross says, evening, Tony Noel. Good evening, Anthony. Hope you're well, mate. No Trippier playing for England tonight. Apparently, he's on the bench, but there is a lot of word going around that Southgate was wanting to keep Trippier rather for Tuesday rather than playing him tonight because, he's got the experience as well, so that's probably why. And not only that, he's been absolutely playing brilliant this season for us as well. Mary says, pissing down in Cambridge, Tony been doing it since 5 p.m. Yeah, well, I came out of work at Newmarket at 4:30, and it was just starting to rain a little bit. But by 5 o'clock, by the time I was leaving, by the time I got to Kentford, it was like absolutely thrown down. It's been horrible. It still is now. It's like rivers where I am. Don't need a car, need a boat. Lee says, evening, Tony and everyone. Do you think the Italian's trying to do the Italian job on Tonali because he's joined our club? Again, Lee, we don't know. It's all speculation, mate. At the end of the day, we just got to wait and see what the what the outcome is. But hopefully the outcome is nothing happens. But we don't know. We just have to wait and see. I suppose we just have to cross that bridge. It's not great, is it? And there'll be fans out there who will be reveling in this. And the end of the day, it's not down to us. It's not our fault it's happened. It happened when he was back in Italy, back in Milan. So we'll just have to see what happens. So in conclusion, my lord, we know absolutely nothing about the allegations, yet we're still talking about it. That's what I'm saying. Until you really know the ins and outs of the case, there's nothing more we can really say. We can bring it up and talk about it and say, look, he's been let go from the squad. And I looked at it in a selfish way and thought, well, yeah, but that means he'd be fit for Palace because he doesn't have to play. He's having a nice rest. But again, there'll be people out there who'll want to speculate and say it's this, that, and to that. Don't speculate. Wait until the courts do their jobs. Lee says, looks like it's trying to rain here. Possibly is. I mean, they're saying this rain's supposed to be clearing at about 7:30. Can't see any sign of this clearing at around 7:30. Just hope it's not doing this tomorrow night because I'm not. I'm off to Benidorm on Sunday morning, so hopefully it's not too bad. Well, it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow, but again, we'll see. D. Valentino taking on his cellmates. I don't think that's going to happen, mate. Anthony Ross says he's a Toon player now. Stand by him till facts come out. Absolutely, mate. Spot on. Bang on comment. Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, like anybody is. Everybody's innocent until they're proven guilty. We know there was things with another player from another club who didn't go to court, but people are still saying, well, he's guilty. But no charges were brought. So that's what I'm saying. They've got to look at the evidence and see what they've got to provide and see from that evidence if there's enough to try these players. If there's not, then at the end of the day, it's a closed case. But we just have to wait and see. Let the Italians prosecutors do their job, and we will find out after that as well. So, It's just one of those things. We're on about Tonali and Zaniolo and another Italian player who was let go from the squad last night. Ryan says, I personally don't see the big deal in the players having a little bet here and there, no matter if it's on their self, but now, not now wrong with being a bit self-confident. I haven't got a problem with the players having a bit of a bet. I mean, why can't they? I've seen some comments from people saying, well, come on, these are footballers, they've got that much money. Why are they betting? But look, we've seen it many a times. We've seen it in cricket. Look at those Pakistani cricketers when they got sent to jail in England because they were in with a betting scam and they were involved with a betting gang. And I think one of them was only like 19 at the time, and he was asked to bowl 6 wides in an over, just so somebody puts a huge bet on that. So somebody probably put about £1,000,000 or something on that bet and said, look, or 100,000 or whatever, and said, look, I'm going to bet 100,000 that he bowls 6 wides in that over. And when the 6 wides got bowled, at the end of the day, they got their money, and then nobody quibbled. And then all of a sudden they thought, hang on a minute, something's not right here, So yeah, so that's what they sort of looked at there. And then they got obviously brought to justice and they got jailed for it. But we don't know what different countries are like. But again, it is what it is. It is one of these things, and we just have to let the Italian court sort it out. And as I say, there's nothing wrong. I don't have a problem with players having a bet as long as they're not doing something that shouldn't be. Like, say, for instance, Tonali says, "Oh, I put a bet on myself getting a yellow card," and then he gets one. Then, yeah, that's when you sort of think, well, hang on, you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, we just have to wait and see what happens on that one. We've seen it with Bruce Grobbelaar, didn't we, back in the 90s when Andy Cole scored that hat-trick for Newcastle when we beat Liverpool 3-0 at St James's Park. If you go back and watch a YouTube video of it, you'll see how easy Andy Cole scores them goals. And he doesn't look to be trying at all, Grobbelaar, and he did actually get done for that as well. So, but that we weren't the only people he was, he had bet, he'd put the correct score on against. There was other teams as well. So when he played for Southampton as well, he done it. So, but if you do go back and look at that, just go look at that. Newcastle beating Liverpool 3-0, Andy Cole hat-trick, and you'll see how easy them goals were, because he could have saved a couple of them, no problem whatsoever. At the time, I just thought, oh, okay, he's made an error here. But then when I come out about it, I was like, oh, when I went back and watched them, I thought, you know what? They were so easy to score. Andy Cole must have thought, what the hell's going on here? Although he's not going to be bothered because he's getting a hat-trick at the end of the day, and he's, Lee says, hope you enjoyed your holiday, mate. You deserve it. All the hard work you're doing. Great job on the show. I haven't gone yet, mate. I don't go till Sunday morning. So there you go. I haven't gone yet. So yeah, I do on Sunday, though. Evening, by the way, Tony. Evening to you, Ryan. Hope you're well. BS says, from the information so far, it's illegal betting sites, so unregistered, no license, tax evasion, etc. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? I've got 100k on Gallant not getting a job, says Bia. Coffee says, I think the Italian investigators got the wrong Newcastle guy. The person thereafter deals with NFTS. Yeah, I think so as well. Evening, Tony says, Ian. Good evening, Ian. I hope you're well, my friend. Tonali selling this club, big issue for Newcastle. Again, we just have to wait and see what happens. That's the thing. Ryan says, all a bit of a farce, isn't it? Surprised that TalkSport pundits haven't been into the story yet, and we haven't already been slammed by Simon, Jordan, Gabby, and the rest of them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Ryan. Definitely. Andrew says, good evening. Good evening, Andrew. Hope you're well. Newcastle made team to exceed this season. Great history created. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And, we've done a lot this season already. I mean, look, to beat PSG at home 4-1, who would have thought that? Who would have thought that? If somebody had said to you 2 years ago, when the takeover happened, 2 years' time, we'll be in the Champions League, we'll be beating PSG 4-1 at home, you would have laughed. You would have laughed at that. You would have said, oh yeah, whatever you're drinking, I'll have a bucket full. But when you think about it and you think how quick we've got there, it's like, wow, it's express, isn't it? So it's massive. Coffee says, I've got to go, but bye, Tony. No, bye to you, Coffee. Have a good evening, mate. I get 100k and I'll leave off back for winning, says Beer. Ryan says, hopefully see a bit of Qual tonight. Hoping to see a lot more of him and Minty in the black and white stripes next season. Yeah, Qual's unfortunately not in the squad tonight, mate. I don't know what's happened there. I don't know why he's not in the squad. I know I've put them on my thumbnail, but I just thought, because 2 Newcastle players, good young talents for the future. Yes, they are absolutely. I mean, look, Arnie's Onslaught, the manager of Feyenoord, did have a little bit of criticism for Minty last week, and what he said was he got a little bit too selfish with the ball and tried to score where he should have probably squared it. But apart from that, he's been absolutely terrific. So, it's a young guy's thing. He's only 18, 19, so you got to think, he's eager to probably impress and score. So you can't blame the guy. And I suppose that's going to help him getting that little bit of criticism as well. And he's with a great manager, Arnie Slot, as well, who I think is a fantastic manager, by the way. And he will do very well there, Minty. My look is on the GGs and footballers. It's terrible to bet on football. You just never know, do you? Lee says they should be looking at the former owner of our club, dodgy deals he's done. Well, yeah. I mean, look, Manda's paid the £10 million. She's paid the £10 million loan back to him. But he didn't just take her to court for that. He took her to court. He took her to court because he didn't like the way she was slating him. Well, I'm sorry, he deserves bloody slating because she wasn't wrong what he is, how bad he ran that club. Ryan says, yeah, only young, you're right, Tony. Absolutely. And he's gonna grow exactly that. Qual go out on another loan next season. I think he will be out. And that depends how he does for Volendam this season, and also depends what Eddie Howe sees him training next season from him. But Minty, I can see him staying and getting runs in the Premier League next season, which would be absolutely fantastic. He does look really, really good. I watched him again. I've seen a couple of games where he's come on and played, and that and he looks really good. So yeah, can't wait to see him properly, especially in an Eddie Howe team as well. It would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? So let's hope anyway. Anybody just coming in, if they haven't seen the England team, well, there it is on screen now. Obviously, no Kieran Trippier playing, but that's probably down to the fact that Southgate keeping them fresh for Tuesday evening for that game against Italy, which, by the way, I will do a pre-match from Benidorm for that one as well. There is the Australian team on screen also. So yeah, I will do a pre-match for that on Tuesday. Before heading out to an outlet to go and watch the game, which should be a cracking game. Let's hope we can beat Italy at Wembley and just try and secure that qualification to Euro 24. And while we talk about the Euros, fantastic news that Euro 2028 will be coming to the UK and Ireland. And Wembley will be hosting the final again. Mark Bullingham has given assurances to UEFA that security has been beefed up after what happened at the Euro 2020. And he said that will never happen again. And I think we've been very lucky to get that. I think only because countries have been pulling out of it left, right, and centre, so only left the door open for us. But the good thing about this is, and I'll say this is the good thing about the Euros coming, is St James's Park is one of the grounds to be used. So can't wait for that. It was used in the Rugby League World Cup, and and if we're up in the the capacity to 65,000, which again is fantastic news. Then again, it all bodes well. And the Saudis will, the Saudi owners of our club, and Reuben Brothers as well, they'll make sure that our stadium looks fantastic for the Euros, showcase it around the world. And it'd be great if England go ahead and win that Euros in that year. Let's hope Eddie Howe still our manager. Because there was a Man City fan on TalkSport. I don't know if anybody saw it, but a Man City fan was on there, and he said, "Look," he says, he doesn't want Pep Guardiola going to England. He says he'd rather Eddie Howe went there. He says Eddie Howe would be great England manager, and I was like, "Oh no, don't say things like that." But as a Man City fan, he was pretty complimentary about Eddie Howe, and he just said, "Look, he'd be the right man for England, better than Southgate." Well, we know that for a starters, but he's definitely not going to England, no chance whatsoever. Hope both our boys do well tonight, says Daniela. Yeah, I mean, are you surprised no James Ward-Prowse in that England squad? Because I am. After the way he's played this season, he should be in that squad, shouldn't he, really? Julie says, evening all. Good evening, Julie. Hope you're well. I can't understand why Ward-Prowse isn't in that team whatsoever, because it's just, yeah, absolutely. Right. So the other night I was adding Julie and Ian as they're coming on as moderators. It wasn't letting us do, but I've managed to do it now. So while you're in the chat, I've done it now. So we should have a little spanner coming up next to your name. So if you do see anything that shouldn't be there, then you can stop it from being screened. Bia says, seen lots of links to Smith Rowe last few days. Yes, I've seen a lot of that coming around. I think that would be a great signing, I really rate Emile Smith Rowe. I know Arsenal rate him, but he's just not able to get in the team. He is a cracking player. They do call him the Croydon De Bruyne because he is that good. Can you imagine Eddie Howe getting him on board? He would be terrific, wouldn't he? And I think it would be a great signing. Depends what the fee is, though. But, I would have Smith Rowe, yeah, no worries at all. Julie says he'd be a good signing, absolutely. Stuart Knox, evening lads, living in New Zealand, just calling the Aussie squad. Good evening, Stuart. No, he's not, mate. He's not in the squad tonight, so I don't know what's happened there. Maybe he's not being chosen. I don't know. But no, he's definitely not in the team tonight. Not on the bench or yeah. So yeah, and welcome aboard the channel. If you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe as well, and keep you up to date with anything Newcastle. Ronald says, "Nah, Pep is the best fit for England." I think he'll be a great manager for England, Pep Guardiola. Because I'm sure after he's won things with the club, I'm sure he's going to go into international management. Daniela says, too early for Eddie Howe as England manager. 10 years, maybe, but maybe he's not. He might not want the England job. Eddie, better here. He'll be here for years to come. Absolutely. Southgate doesn't pick players in form. He doesn't know, and that's what he did promise. I'll pick the players who are in form. So you get Harry Maguire comes into the squad and he's not played. It's unbelievable. Daniela says yes, but hopefully James Ward-Prowse in the next squad. Yeah. Stuart Knox says Smith Rowe would be a class signing. Him, Barnes and Gordon on either side of Isak. Do you know what? Yeah, it would be. Again, let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope we do go in for him. Ian says, seems strange being more talking as a bait. I used to fight them, lol. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Yeah, the old mods, wasn't it? God, yeah. I remember. Yeah, they were. That was back in the day, wasn't it, mate? Lee says, Burns should have had a call for England. He should have. He signed a new deal today, which is absolutely fantastic. So he's signed a new deal, which is great news for us. But yeah, Dan Burn he's been brilliant this season, absolutely. This lad should have been in the England squad as well, Longstaff ahead of Henderson. So let's hope. Let's hope he's in maybe the next squad. Because the next home match England's got is Malta at home. And that would be, I'm not disrespecting Malta, but it would be the perfect game to put the likes of Burn and Longstaff in, you know. And I'll actually beat that game against Malta at Wembley as well. So I will do a live from there when I'm there. Julie says, would love to know what Southgate's logic is. Why pick players that aren't picked for their clubs? Exactly, Julie. I don't know what his problem is there. Why he does that. To me, it's just, I don't understand it. Gareth Southgate's weaknesses cost us results. He's honestly the Joey Deacon of football management. Do you know what, Ronald? The thing is, all right, you've got Tomori. Yes, he's playing tonight in this friendly. But you've got Tomori, who's one of the best centre-backs in AC Milan. In Italy, right? One of the best centre-backs in Italian football. Chelsea was stupid to let him go. I thought when they let him go, that was a mistake they made. But you've got one of the best English centre-backs in Italian football, and yet you can't get past Maguire. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely unbelievable. So, again, I don't understand that one. I don't understand where Southgate's coming from on that one. I mean, look, as I say, any game, England, Australia, whether it's football, you know, there's always needle to it, you know. I expect England to go out and win this game tonight. I hope we win it comfortably. It might be a tough game because Australia did play all right in the World Cup. Even though they didn't get very far, but they still played all right. I'm going to say 2-0 England for this one. I'm not going to say England's going to go out there and thrash them 3-4-5-0 because I don't think that will happen. But I think we'll certainly score a couple of goals. So I'm going to go for a 2-0. I'm going to go for a 2-0 England win on this one. And let's hope. Let's hope this rain goes off as well because it keeps hitting the satellite dish, which means it keeps knocking the picture off. Hopefully this rain just stops and goes away. Noxie, he says, I would break the bank to get Tomori for the 2. And do you know what? I would have him into town, absolutely. It's like someone to take over from Cher because Cher's not going to have much longer left in him. Hopefully he's the next one for a new deal because his deal runs out the end of the season. But yeah, look, Tomori, I would have him at Newcastle, absolutely. He's a beast. Look, he kept us quiet at the, the San Siro. So, yeah, absolutely, why not? I think the next England manager needs to rotate the squad more, especially in friendly games and take into account the club games. Absolutely, definitely, yeah, agree. Julie says Tomori's a player I'd love at Newcastle as well. Yeah, I would love him at the town as well. The 80s are renowned for their defensive capabilities. So if an English kid is that highly thought of, he's staying Ari. The Yankees, yeah, absolutely, Ronald. Definitely. Alternate with Sharon Botman, what a defence. Yeah, wouldn't it just be, Julie? Wouldn't it just? You know, I would love Tamori, but I don't know how much he would cost. That is a thing. Um, yes, his rival fans only want Howe as England manager at the game out in Newcastle. Yeah, that's why, because I'm worried. Noxie says if you look at the future, Tino, Tamori, Botman, Hall, or Northeast, although the future is bright, the future is black and white. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I mean, look, you know, he's. I mean, Livermento played his started against City and had a cracking game and got rightly so got player of the match. It was absolutely brilliant. Hall didn't do a lot, but there again, he hasn't had a lot of football. So again, you've got to get this lad game time, and that's the thing. We need to keep giving him game time. Even if we bring him off the bench and give him 15 minutes, just to build his match fitness up. And Hall will come good. He really will. Julie says, I hope the way rumours are true. Yeah, I would take him as well, Julie. Absolutely. I think he's a cracking defender. Nate, hi mate, hope you're well. He says, I'll just see what other people are thinking as I'm not English. I can. Why the frick is Southgate still manager? The amount of youngsters England are going to lose because he won't play them. Do you know what it is? You're absolutely spot on there, Nate. I mean, we have got some great talent there. And that is the problem. I mean, you look at like Muslera. He decided not to play for England and go to Germany and play for Germany because he knew he wouldn't get the England team. And this is a problem. Southgate's got to start realising now. You've got to start blooding the youngsters. You want to win something, you've got to start bringing the youngsters through. If we qualify for this Euros next year, you need to start bringing youngsters into the team. The likes of Anthony Gordon, Sean Longstaffs. Get rid of the likes of Maguire and Henderson. Henderson's going to be 34 next year. Do you really want him in your midfield next year? I don't. Any other? No. Yeah. Nice one, mate. Matey Win says, get the Med 23 on Evendio Mediterranean from down from Andrews Bar for the footy, loads of tellies and brill atmosphere. Med 23. Nice one, mate. I will have a look at that. Callum Coyle, hi mate, hope you're well. He says, I'm not losing the soccer rose. No, absolutely not, mate. Noxie says, I'm gobsmacked that Gordon isn't even in the squad. He would have scared the crap out of that Aussie right back. He would have tonight, yeah, he would have been absolutely brilliant. But again, not in that team. Julie says, almost playing for England at 18, so was Rooney. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Hoddle had him in the team at young age, didn't he? And, we all seen him score that great goal against, Argentina, which was a fantastic goal against Argentina, and you can't take that away. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Beckham was a young lad as well when he was called up. Yeah, and I mean, look, he got vilified for that challenge on Simeone, which Simeone has actually said he wasn't even touched. So again, it's a bit of Archie cheating again, isn't it? We know what the Archies are like for it. Talking about Beckham, I've watched the documentary on Netflix, and it's a 4-part series. And I will say, if you haven't seen it, do watch it because it is absolutely fantastic. You see a side to Beckham that you've probably not seen before. And do you know what? He seems a really down-to-earth guy. It's an absolutely brilliant documentary. And you even see Posh Space in a different light as well. So, to be fair, if you haven't watched it, definitely have a look. It's... But yeah, definitely have a look at the Beckham thing. So yeah, there we go. If they're good enough, they're old enough, so it's not. Absolutely, definitely. I mean, we all remember when Sven-Göran Eriksson in 2002 took Walcott to the World Cup when he was about 16, 17. Never played him, but he took him. A lot of people said, well, that was a waste of a space, but, But the thing is, he was there. Daniela says we need to stop giving players caps to massage their egos. You know the player I'm talking about? Yeah, we do, Daniela. Absolutely. We get a lot of future England stars now, and they'll go and play for other countries. Look at Anderson thinking about playing for Scotland. Well, he's actually thinking about playing for England now, isn't he? Because he pulled out the Scotland squad last month with a mysterious injury after Southgate told him not to go there. Mikey Wynn says, is that not like telling Eddie to drop trips for Tino? The present is now. Play the best, the future's the future. Absolutely. I said Tino played well in that match against Man City, and rightly so, he got player of the match for it. He was absolutely tremendous that night. And the thing is, Trippier is first choice right back, regardless. And I'm a Blackpool fan. Nice one, Callum. Remember when your team were in the Premier League? They weren't too bad at all, were they? Charlie Adam. Julie says Simeone did confess that it was him who taught Trippier the dark arts as well. Yeah, he's a. He's a good manager, Simeone. Don't get me wrong. We could be looking at least 5 players from our club in the England team. Yeah, definitely. Callum says, but my pardon, 1-0 to the Socceroos. It will hurt. Let's hope not. PS, €2 pint, and you're right. Beckham, eye-opening. Yeah, definitely. €2 a pint, not bad at all, is it, Mighty Win? Brilliant. Yes, I can't watch Beckham's. I'm still heartbroken over Katie Price and Peter Andre. I'll have to watch the game. Enjoy everyone. Love from East London. Yeah, you too, Daniela. And see you again, Daniela. Great having Daniela in the chat. West Ham fan. She's absolutely brilliant. Hope she has a nice evening watching the game. Hope it's a bit drier as well than what it is. Yeah, because it's absolutely awful. But no, as I say, if you haven't watched the Beckham documentary, do watch it because it really is good. I didn't know if I'd enjoy it or not, to be honest with you. And, thoroughly enjoyed it. My other half, she enjoyed it as well. And she's not a football fan as such, but she enjoyed it, She thought it was brilliant. But yeah, it just goes to show, people are human. And when you see the amount of abuse he got, I know we know he got the abuse. I remember being at St James's Park after that World Cup thing, and when he came up, every time he touched the ball, he kept getting booed every time. And but it's because everybody thought it was his fault. But was it really a red card offence? I don't think it was. I think yellow maybe, but I think that referee at the time wanted to make a name for himself. Ronald said, I can't remember the game, but I remember Gaza beating the team from the halfway line round the keeper and missing an open goal when he was a youngin. I can vaguely remember something like that, but I don't know who it was against, yeah. But what we do know is, remember Euro 96, he's goal against Scotland. Cue the dentist chair celebration. Fantastic. That's a goal that will live on. That is one of the best goals I've ever seen in a tournament. The way he took it against Scotland, it was just brilliant. And I think under El Tel as well, Terry Venables, we should have won the Euros that year. If Gaza had a shoot, if Gaza's boots were half a size longer, or half a size bigger than what they were, he touches that ball, it goes in the back of the net against Germany, we win it on golden goal. He was just unfortunate not to get his leg in the way. To lose on penalties to Germany was heartbreaking because I think if we'd beat them, we would have got through the final and we would have won that final against the Czech Republic. So yeah, I thought we were very unlucky because we should have won Euros in '96, definitely. Matey Wynn says, so Dan Lawless sticking up for the Toon, replying to a Man U fan who said that no Toon player would get in their team, he destroyed him. Excellent. God, there's plenty of our players who will get in that Man United team. You know, but Man United, I think, well, I was talking to a fan the other day, a Man U fan who I work with, and I said to him, I said, you were lucky to get that win against Brentford. And he said, do you know what it was? He says, as a Man United fan, he says, I'm gutted we beat Brentford. I went, why? He says, because Ten Hag was on the verge of a sacking. So they won him out. He was lucky against Scotland, Tony. Gaza. Great goal, mate. Great goal. You can't take that away. Southgate has lost us more tournaments than any other player manager in history. Yeah, you're probably right there. Ronald says, Gaza playing the Flute Rangers against Celtic, only him, man. Oh, God, yeah, when he done that, he nearly caused a bloody riot, didn't he? You know? And he should have, you know, it's not the thing you do in Scotland, especially in that sort of game, play the flute. I mean, that's just bang out of order, and he shouldn't have done it. I mean, at the time, people thought, oh, what's the big deal? But there again, you know, but again, we know what it means there, and you've just got to accept that's Gaza at the end of the day, and we know what he's like. You know, I mean, look, I'm going to bring up a picture on screen. Do we all, you know, we're talking about Gaza. Let's have a little bit of a laugh here with Gaza. Now then, the picture on screen was when he was playing for Rangers. Do we all remember when Gaza gave the referee a yellow card because the referee had dropped his yellow cards or dropped his cards out of his pocket, and Gaza picked them up and gave the yellow card to the ref, having a bit of a joke. Only for the referee not to see the funny side, to then take his cards, turn around, give Gaza a yellow card for it. And I mean, at the time, everybody was outraged over that because they all said, "Come on, have a bit of sense of humour, there, referee. You know, he's only having a bit of fun with you." And you know, but again, that's referees for you. You know, sometimes they just haven't got a sense of humour. I mean, that's a lot different than, you know, he was just having a bit of fun with the referee and he should have, yeah. Let us beat Man U in the Cup then, Hag get the sack. Yeah, I think we can beat them in the Cup, and why not? Definitely. Matey Wincy, that's typical Man U fans. I was amazed they all wanted Ten Hag out. And 2 minutes later, he's going to lead them to the title. Fickle fans, Matey Win, that's what they are, fickle fans. Julie says, typical Man U fans, absolutely, because they're from London. Half of them don't even live in Manchester, do they? So it is. It's just absolutely ridiculous the way they go on. Ian says, "Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous. Like with the ref. I mean, yeah, the referee should have had a bit of look. He could have had a bit of humour there. The referee and said, look, do you know what? At the end of the day, you know, Gaza's only had a laugh. And to just to give a yellow card for that was just ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Giving them a yellow card. Maybe the referee had a bad day and he just didn't, you know. But when you watch that, you can see, I think it's Hibernian that playing. You can see the Hibernian players aren't happy with the referee either, given the yellow card. If I can find the clip, I'll put it on. Fact, I found the clip. So, what I'll do is, the referee in question is called Dougie Smith. So there we go. Right, let's get this on for you. So there we are. There's Gaza. Caught the referee and then, oh. But we know that's Gaza. Gaza the clown. And at the end of the day, there was nothing wrong with that in my eyes. He was just having a bit of fun. Ronald says, could you imagine if Man U went doing, do you think they would get a full house then? They probably wouldn't. They probably wouldn't. They wouldn't get full houses. They'll have a great stadium in the Championship, though. Arthur Bushby, yeah, become other man just never got that far. Talking to be, I think. But yeah, I mean, look, it's strange how Man U season's just been a bit funny this season, hasn't it? And it's just different. Considering he won them a trophy last season, now they won him out. So just shows you. I saw a report the other day saying apparently they've sold it to the Qataris, but I've not seen nothing official about them selling to the Qataris. And plus, it would have to go through Premier League approval as well. I remember Pat Partridge, he was a good ref. To be honest, I think they would get a full house because most of the fans are tourists. Yeah, probably, yes, so they can get their photographs and things like that. One referee that I absolutely detest and I do not like him as a referee anymore. And to me, I think he's done it for his own ego. So he could be the first referee to send this player off in his career and make a name for himself, but he didn't make a name for himself. He made a tit of himself. And that referee is Uriah Rennie. If you remember, he sent Shearer off with glee when he was sending Shearer off as well. Even though it wasn't a red card offence. And he just done that so he could make a name for himself to say, look, I'm the first referee to send him off in his career. And didn't go down well at all, that. So I did not like Uriah Rennie. Telford Mills was another terrible referee as well. He was awful. I mean, we've had some good referees from the Northeast. I mean, we've got Michael Oliver. George Courtney used to be a good referee. He refereed in the World Cup. Ian says, never liked him, too arrogant. Uriah Rennie, he wasn't he just? Mikey Wynn says there's a great YouTuber, Jeff Wint, Under the Cosh. I'll have to watch that because he's quite a character, Jeff Winter, isn't he? Ronald says Uriah Rennie was a bellend, wasn't he just? Yeah, absolutely, mate. Lee says, defo right there, Tony. Yeah, I mean, look, like I say, we've had some good referees, we've had some shit referees. But I tell you what, some of the referees we've got in this Premier League are just diabolical at the moment. Would be former high mate, hope you're well. He says, hope Balogun has a good game this weekend. Yeah, because he'd be playing for the States, won't he? Yeah. Player I would like to have had at Newcastle, but yeah. But no, I mean, some of the referees we've got in this Premier League now are just atrocious. Mikey Wynn says Michael Oliver didn't cover himself in glory of the city. No, he didn't that day, did he? I mean, he doesn't often have a bad game, to be fair, but yeah, he did have a bad day at the office in that game. But yeah, I mean, City have lost 3 games in a row now, haven't they? So they're on a sticky patch at the minute. You know, you still look at that West Ham result and think if we'd only held out, we would have had them 3 points. But you know what? I'll take a point down there because of how well West Ham have played this season. Next game's obviously Crystal Palace, which we'll do previews and everything for. But yeah, I mean, look, if we can target winning the home games and drawing away from home, then, you know, depending where you go to, or you pick up the win where you should expect to pick up a win, but pick up a draw where you might expect to probably maybe lose or, best get a draw, then yeah. Ian says, can you remember Kenny Wharton? Do you mean Kenny Wharton? He was good, took no nonsense from anyone, a tiny Wharton. I heard about Kenny Wharton, the footballer, or is this Tiny Wharton? Is that his name, the referee? Because I don't remember a referee called Tiny Wharton. Maybe before my time, I'm not sure. If only every ref was like Kalina. Yes, what a referee he was. Pierluigi Kalina, what a referee he was. He was a fantastic referee. Yeah, I absolutely adored him. I thought he was brilliant as a referee. You know, always seemed fair and one of the best referees, if not the best referee in the world. If he was in charge of our referees, I tell you what, I'm sure he would shake them up. I thought Howard Webb was going to do that, but he hasn't, has he? Yes, Tony referee. No, I don't remember him, mate. No, not at all. Mighty Win says, question mark, 2 points in 3 places better off than last season after a much tougher start. Do you think we can finish top 4? Why not? Look, absolutely, we can. We've got players to come back. We've got Joe Linton to come back. We've got Willock to come back. So, there's Barnes to come back eventually. But yeah, we've got plenty of players to come back, and the strength is there. And whether we make a couple of additions in January, who knows? If the players are there at the right price, obviously you don't do it if they're at the wrong price. But I say, why not? The way we are playing really well. And yeah, you're right, we are better off this season. So yeah, we could make the top 4. So it will be interesting to see where we finish. Scottish and FIFA ref, yeah. Ronald says, remember Jeff Winter calling off the Borough Toon game when he had no defence due to snow? It effing melted and they won the game and postponed a week. And yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was called off for safety reasons, wasn't it? 70 says Ian. Well, I was born 72, Ian, so I wouldn't remember him. Lee says gave us plenty of in the Champions League. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was pretty good. Yeah. It's a woman ref, the need. Oh, is it a woman ref? Is it? It's not a French lady, is it? Because if it is, she's a very, very good referee. Is it? That's Stephanie. Yeah, 2 women refs. BS says, hoping Australia win, but I'm predicting 3-0 England. Absolutely. Thing is, like I said the other week, and Rowley didn't, and I know Rowley's not 100% sold on the idea, and I said, it'll not be long before a lady is in charge of a Premier League team. And someone like Emma Hayes, I can see her being in charge of a men's Premier League team. I can see Serena. Do you know what? If Southgate was to go, I would have Serena Wiegman as England manager. She's absolutely brilliant. So I haven't got a problem. I ain't got a problem with that. We have men. We have managers who are men in the women's game. So why can't women be in the men's game? That's what I see. What's to say that if Pochettino didn't go from Chelsea, that Chelsea might say, well, I'll tell you what, Emma, you come and be our men's manager. And I'll tell you what, she would shake that team up. But yeah, I think it will be, I think in time there will be a changing of the guard. Soon enough, Chelsea will have gone through all the male managers, so it's a time for a female manager, yeah. Good job it's not her from Sunday. She was on the rack. Certainly, yeah. But yeah, let's hope. I mean, gosh. But I can see that happening in the future, and I know Rowley wasn't sold on it, but at the end of the day, you've got to go with what's happening in, the here and now. And that's exactly what happened. Football evolves. And, at the end of the day, nobody can be sexist, in my opinion. Castle Women's game live on YouTube Sunday. Yes, the game at Burnley is live at 2 p.m. on Sunday. So yeah, make sure you get on there and watch it and give the women some support. Ronald says, "Anyway, Tony, the ladies' game is different, man. I was fuming when Phil Neville was England Lass's manager. Now he didn't do too bad, did he? He got, but he did sort of fall out with them at the end. But there's a Swedish manager in charge of the Arsenal team, male in charge of Manchester City's team. Manchester United's got a male manager, so yeah, I think it's going to happen one day. I don't know how far down the line it will happen, but I think it will happen one day. We've seen it with Forest Green. They had a caretaker manager as a woman, didn't they? So I can see it happening in the Premier League. I know it's a totally different game, but I think if you look at the likes of Emma Hayes, she's pretty clued up on what she knows, and she's a pretty good manager. So I could see her in a men's team, and she wouldn't look out of place, to be honest with you. So again, we'll see. But that's something for the future, I think. Let the women officiate and comment on the women's game and the men's. Call me old fashioned. No, I understand exactly where you come from. We're used to it that way, but as I say, the way the world's going now, it's equal opportunities now, isn't it? And that is the thing. So we just got to go with that, and we'll see what happens. But if you have liked what you see, please do smash that like. If you haven't done so already, then do smash that like. Thank you very much. If you are brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come be part of this great community. And also hitting the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So as I say, yes, on Sunday, I will be off on my holiday, my short break to Benidorm. So I've never been there before, so first time. And I'll do a pre-match from there as well for the England game on Tuesday evening. Also, I will do a couple of vlogs and put some vlogs on there of Benidorm, so I won't disappoint anybody. And Ronald agrees with him as well. Might he win? But yeah, guys, like I say, I will do some vlogs and put them on as well. So I'll show you the beautiful sights of Benidorm. I'm sure there's plenty of them. And the weather's lovely as well. Woodby says men and women should have separate beaches. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. I may do a show tomorrow, so do stay tuned for that one. But if not, I will probably put a vlog on, maybe a day one vlog when I get there or whatever, so I can do something for you that way. But hope you've enjoyed this show tonight. Let you all get off and maybe watch the England game and see how England get on tonight. And, but the main game's Tuesday against Italy at home. That's the one we need to win more than anything to make sure we qualify for next year's Euros. But until then, enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever you're doing. And, stay safe. And the rain is now clear, now stopped here. So that is absolutely fantastic. That the rain has stopped. Let's hope that's stopped for the night now, because I had so much rain. Like I say, I don't need a car, I need a rowing boat to get out of here. Great show as always, says Julie. Thanks very much indeed, Julie. Good night, all. Good night to you. Lee says, been a great show, Tony. Getting better all the time. Thanks very much, mate. Great show, Tony, says Ian. Thanks, Ian. Mike Ewan says, cheers, Tony. No worries, mate. See you again. How are you, the lads, says Ronald. How are you, the lads? Absolutely, mate. Definitely. And till then, I will see you later, guys. And how are you, the lads?